Lovely to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Loving
much.
the kit. It's real
Thank
now,
you.
isn't it? You must be really relishing the prospect of the next couple of weeks and getting on
Yeah,
that flight to Tokyo.
yeah. First step, it's I know people have pinned me as favorite and I'm always the man to beat, but nothing beats getting your name down on that team sheet and knowing you're on the flight. So first step's done. Second step is getting the kit. So just preparing and finally just doing up the final bits now over the next few weeks, staying healthy, and we can go into the job.
Is the facial hair part of the Tokyo look? Just need to clarify that.
Well, I'm losing hair up top, so I'm thinking I might need to grow a bit more down the bottom of the face. But
Okay.
no, no, I think it's probably just boredom, isn't it? Everyone's trying something new in lockdown. I'm just playing about with my facial hair, but no, just playing about and bored, waiting. Been a long time. It's been a long build up. Been 18 months. Been grafted very, very hard, and I'm ready to go.
I know you're like a cage tiger, but in all seriousness, we do need to talk about the last 18 months. It's been tough for everybody. Everyone's had their own challenges. And I know speaking to you, you've really struggled, with the lack of competition, the postponement of Tokyo. How do you cope with that mentally? Because it has been really, really tough, isn't it?
Yeah, this has been the biggest challenge for any professional athlete's career, in my opinion. When things were fresh back in March last year and we went into a lockdown, Tokyo hadn't been postponed. And all I could think was, right, what can we do here? I've got no access to the track, no access to any sort of gym or strength and conditioning facilities. And I need to be somehow ready to defend and compete for medals in 4 or 5 months' time, but in my garden. So how am I going to do this? So it was mission impossible. I think I jumped to the first step like everyone, and I created a space to train. So quickly converted the garage into a gym and built a circle in my garden, thrown into some cargo nets, hung down off some top hats on some trees. So I did a lot of construction work in the garden with throwing the shot around, but it was awfully hard. I mean, to the Paralympic Games comes around every 4 years. It's the biggest show. It's the biggest stage in any Paralympic athlete's career. It's the accolade everyone wants, and you can't cut any corners. As much as I was trying to adapt and evolve, it wasn't the same. And when it got postponed, the big picture was the right thing to do. Health is wealth at the end of the day, and it just wasn't safe. But it seems like things are coming back around. We've kind of taken control again, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I adapted. I took the opportunity to have a bit of time off and spend some time with my lovely family. So I was lucky. I had time, given time that I wouldn't have had before. But also, I was given the break that I didn't realize I needed. I always regret not taking 2018 off, because I thought, what, that was the time I could have had a year off, recharge the battery. But instead, I pushed through that year and went for the European title, which I did. So upon reflection, it's all good now. But I was given a nice little break, and I rebuilt everything, and we went again. I looked at everything I had in front of me, adapted all my training to being able to be self-sufficient here in my house. And the only thing I didn't have was competition and the risk of traveling. So it was hard. I had to weigh up the options. Like, do I risk going through airports? Maybe catching something and bringing it home, affecting others. Making myself ill, making others ill. What's the risk? So I decided just to stay at home. And my first competition since the 2019 World Champs of Dubai was the European Champs out in Poland. So underestimated the rust, I should say, of competition. I have very high standards, and like every athlete, they're always hungry. They're never satisfied. They're always hungry for more. But I have my own standards that I chase, and how I do things. It's not always about the medal, especially in that aspect. I wanted to go there to execute a technical process, come away with a performance that I can build on, start my season. But took it all in my stride, and I'm ironing out those little creases now. But I mean, psychologically, it's been the toughest challenge. And for me, I've said the same thing. It's it's going to be last man standing in Tokyo. Whoever's been the smartest with their training, who's been able to adapt and cope with everything. Because, you know, you look on social media and I look at my rivals and I think, oh, right, there's loads of guys ready to break the world record here, but that's not the case. You know, I'm watching rankings and trying to take everything with a pinch of salt. And when I got back on the international scene and competed in the European Champs, I realized that we'd all been in the same boat, you know, and even though I've been having toe-to-toes with Tom Habsheed of Luxembourg for about 5 years now, you know, we both were nervous. You know, we had all these feels that we hadn't felt for years. So, yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. But I think this game's, for me personally, it's going to be about doing a job. It's not the normal experience, which is sad. You know, just little things like, you know, getting the kit is always a massive thing. It's a big honor. And we go and we have a kitting out day in London and we get to meet the rest of the team and whatnot. None of that's happened. I got my kit in the post. You know, those little things you know, have been taken away. So yeah, I'm kind of forgetting about this games to an extent in terms of enjoying the experience. I'm going to do my job, you know, and I'll have fun and enjoy the next one in Paris when hopefully the world is a bit healthier by then.
You know, I think of you and your career over the years, and for me, you're one of the kind of key recognizable faces of Team GB, and you're still so young, so you're not past it. I'm not meaning that out, but you know, you've been around a while, you've done it all, you've worn the t-shirt, you've got the world records, you've won gold in various different international competitions, and I know you personally how inherently competitive you are, but how hungry are you for Tokyo?
You know, I'm a competitor. I like to think that I'm a professional in terms of I've been fighting my whole career to be recognized as an elite athlete, to make disability sport be seen as elite. You know, I'm a professional thrower before anything else. And, you know, I've been training for 15 years. I've been competing at the highest stage since 2011, won everything since 2012. And I always remember coming off 2012 thinking, right, I can never lose again. And it's always been kind of like, oh, here we go again. It's not, you know, I got to go again. Here we go. Another major, another expectation of gold medal. And what the pandemic did was it took all of that away and made me realize I'm not ready for it to go away yet. You know, I want to get back in there. I want to compete. Once it was taken away, it made me realize, you know, all those, oh, here we go, another major, another 4 years, all you know, doing it over and over again. Yeah, it's hard work. I love what I do, but you know, that pressure of always having to deliver, it does weigh down on anyone. No one's superhuman. I don't care what they say. It does weigh down on you. And when it was taken away, it made me realize, you know what? I'm lucky here. I have the dream job, you know, a job that I'm good at, and it's been taken away from me now, which made me realize that I'm not ready for it to stop,
to give it up and retire.
And maybe I have taken it for granted. Do you know what I mean? That pressure, that expectation. At the end of the day, I've been selected to represent Paralympic GB to go to Tokyo because I'm the best man to do the job that I've been picked to do. So, you know, with that, I've taken it in my stride. And yeah, I can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to go and do what, I believe, it might be cheesy, what I was born to do. You know, this is literally been my job. And, you know, I feel very privileged now that you know, despite everything that's going on, we're a part of history. Wherever the games is, people are going to be looking back and they will remember this, you know, and I'm just hoping I can leave my mark over in Tokyo and bring on the right color.
Yes, indeed. We're all hoping that as well. So how is training going? Obviously, gold in Poland by your own admission, a little bit rusty, but good to compete on the international stage again. So, you know, as we get ever closer to you getting on that flight, how is training going for you?
So I've kind of kept my head down this whole lockdown, to be honest, when it's come to training. I'm not one to post things and, you know, show the world what I'm doing, because I know there's hundreds of other people doing that, and I consider what I do to be my job. So, you know, I'm good. I've always taken it day in, day out. I work as hard as I can, and the proof's in the pudding. like I said, I underestimated the rust of competition, and I was disappointed with Poland because I have been in phenomenal shape the last 2 3 months. I have been flying, and I'm not one to blow my own bagpipes, but I have been seeing throws that I've never seen in training, and I'm not a training thrower, so I know that it's there. Getting it out in competition has been a different kettle of fish. So I haven't had that many opportunities. Went straight into Poland, and I did the job. It was a tough one, but I like I said, I've been training for 15 years. It doesn't go away overnight, and it's kind of nice to know that I can have potentially a bad day in the office and still be in a better position than most people in the world. But that's something we have worked towards for a long time. And I competed at the British Olympic trials, furthered my season's best and world lead by a meter. So, and I fouled a couple of big throws. So it's, we're heading in the right direction. I've got about 4 competitions before Tokyo, and in a month's time, it'll be a different story. I will be sweet as a nut and itching to get out there.
Well, I love your dogged determination. I mean, it's phenomenal what you've achieved, and I know how determined you are to go out to Tokyo and really set the world alight. And I know you will. And we are so 110% behind you, Al. Wish you all the best. Keep on trucking until you get on that flight and bring it home for Wales. That's what I say.
Thank you, Sam. Diolch yn fawr. Cymru am beth.